Let's do it.
Hello, everyone, again.
Yeah. Okay. So we're behind, but we're not behind because we arrived exactly when we mean to.
That works. We'll take it.
So something is happening tomorrow, and that something is the same thing that was supposed to happen
last week.
Yes. But the reason why is because we thought something that we could do in 15 minutes could be done in 15 minutes. And in turn, it became something way longer.
It took us, what, like 12 hours?
12 hours of editing.
12 hours. Yeah, we wanted to just make a quick edit to the video from last week. I didn't rename the stream. We're going to just, one sec.
Yeah, we're gonna call this the Savage Pie.
That's what we always call it.
Yeah.
Did that do anything? I don't know. I don't know how Twitch works. I've been doing this for a month. 3 times. Anyways, we're going to ignore that and just hope it worked.
Yep.
And move on.
But, so guys. Yeah. We got this thing coming. It's a tier list of sorts.
Yeah. Well, we did stream it on Twitch last week.
We did.
So if you watched it on Twitch, it's still available on Twitch. So
yes.
For the people who are actually watching us on Twitch, you can still view that. It's available. We have now an edited version of it, though.
Oh, yeah.
An edited version.
12 hours of editing.
Well, it was a 2-hour video, so when you think about it.
I mean, yeah, but 12 hours of editing, guys. Come on. This is our first big project.
Yeah. It is.
And speaking of, like, you know, new stuff, look at our Chads.
Yeah, we got the avatars now.
We got the avatars. And don't
Done.
we look fucking
We had them last
spunky.
week, too, but they look amazing.
Yeah, we didn't have an episode. We did have an episode, but it didn't go the way that we planned it.
Nope.
So, what we're going to do today is basically whatever the fuck we want.
We spent all this week doing editing and not preparing for this stream. So
exactly.
We have nothing planned.
So this is going to be super fucking
well,
fun.
we have some topics.
We do.
We have topics that we can go over.
Yeah. Crazy new developments in some manga.
Yeah.
Kengan.
You know what? Since we did do the tier list last week, we should probably talk about just how unbelievably poorly we predicted about everything in that show.
I'm down. Let's talk. We were wrong about everything. We were right about 4 things.
3.
We were right about 3 things.
3 things.
That's terrifying. We were doing really good, too.
Oh, I guess technically 4 now that I think about it. But anyways, yeah,
Potato, tomato.
We thought we had the whole show like mapped out and figured out and everything, and Kengan's just like, nah. You don't know what you're talking about.
Kengan doesn't even like its own main characters, okay? It doesn't. No, Kengan has.
Yeah, Kengan's like, what's plot armor? What even is plot armor?
Yeah, plot armor is something to get kicked around by fucking Fang of Metsudo. That's what plot armor is. How good is the tournament arc, my dude?
It's really good. I think we talked about this last week. The tournament arc in Kengan is so good. It's engaging. It's, hard to predict, as we found out. And it actually has, like, stake. Well, the stakes aren't that high, but there are stakes.
The stakes in Omega are high.
Yeah.
And, I mean, life or death stakes are pretty high.
I guess that's true.
In the Annihilation Tournament. It just depends on who you're fighting.
Yeah. Some people won't kill you. Some people will kill you.
Some people will kill you.
But it's Kengan, so no one actually dies.
Except for the guys Ryan murders.
Yeah, apparently.
Those guys die.
Yeah.
Well, Mokichi didn't die.
So one thing we should talk about is the Devil Ants.
Whoa! Mr.
Gensai, that's it. I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, super wrong about him. And
we thought that he was a nothing character that showed up to get beat in the second round and not be relevant anymore.
But he was S tier.
Yeah.
Just a beast of a problem.
And not only was he a huge problem, he ends up beating Fang of Metsudo, which was one of the things that we thought from the first match. We're like, yeah, Fang takes this entire tournament, right?
Yeah, and it just...
No, he doesn't. And you know what? It's actually... We were even saying that, like, Fang, every single one of Fang's fights is so good, and he's versing like the best people in the tournament every single round. And you think, okay, that's just a coincidence. No, that's deliberate. They put that into the writing.
Well, just a heads up, by the way. The tier list was done a week ago, and in that week's time, I've had enough time to finish the rest of Kengan.
Yeah,
so
because we hadn't quite finished some of the fights from last week.
Yeah, so we got through some of them. Well, we got through all of them. I'm reading Omega right now, and we were so wrong. So we did some edits.
Yep.
And some of the scans in the edits are obviously going to be from further along.
Mm-hmm.
But they still validate the points just the same. We just as far as we know, we didn't make too many contradictions. So like bear with us. Again, like the tier list came out before we had knowledge of the ending of the series, but we had a lot of fun making it.
We put some stuff into it to fix some of the mistakes we made in the video.
Clear some stuff up.
Yeah.
What's the one? What are we doing? What are we doing today? We're talking about Kengan. We cleared up.
We wanted to talk about, since we talked about a good tournament arc, let's talk about a bad tournament arc.
Oh my God! How bad is Baki's tournament arc?
What is it called? It's the Chai.
The Raitai tournament.
The Raitai tournament, and
who but ass?
It's one of those things where it's like when you see the Kengan tournament. Most of the characters aren't relevant until the tournament starts, and then they all become relevant after the tournament begins. And it gives every single character in the tournament gets a backstory, even if they didn't have one established before they were introduced.
Gensai.
Gensai.
That guy, you just constantly find out stuff about him mid-fight.
And then you have that tournament arc where every single character is some character that you have some type of connection with, for the most part, except for Ray.
Fuck Ray, dude.
Anyways, and then you have characters in Baki where it's like, here's the 5 main cast members that are like, relevant to the plot,
and then here's
everyone else is fodder.
Yeah.
Every other character is fodder.
Yep.
They introduced 3 guys in the tournament of like 16 people, 3 guys that weren't the 5 main characters. Those 3 guys either lost their first match because of plot reasons, or they won their first match, and then they proceed to take those guys that won, and instead of continuing the tournament, they just decide to get 5 guys on the Raitai side and 5 guys on the Baki side, and they just do one-on-ones for the rest of the tournament, and it's basically best of 3, right? And as they're doing this, they introduce 2 more guys on the Raitai side, and they introduce these guys as being like menacing problem characters. They proceed to get 2-shot by the other cast members.
Baki and Ali Jr.
Yeah, they just get, like, Baki beats the guy in a few seconds, and Ali Jr. 2-shots the guy. Yeah. And it's like, I guess those guys that they tried to build up as being threats weren't really that relevant, were they?
And Retsu won because he was on the other guy's team.
Yeah, and Retsu won. Retsu's a main cast member, and the guy he was fighting was the only guy from the Baki team that wasn't a main cast member. Which means that out of every single match, only main cast members won.
Well, and we know fucking Yujiro wasn't going to lose.
Well, yeah, obviously.
His big ass. But for real, though, like, I'm just not impressed with the Baki tournament arc.
Yeah.
And I'm reading the Pickle arc right now. Actually, I'm done the Pickle arc.
Yeah.
I'm done the Pickle arc, and I wasn't too impressed with the Pickle arc.
Really?
It was good. It was good, but too many L's.
Yeah, because when there's only one villain, in order to make the plot continue, you have to have the main cast take a lot of losses throughout to keep that person as a threat.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And I've actually done that in my stories too. I've told you about this already.
Yeah.
And it's just a narrative thing. Like, if you have only one villain, he's the villain for a significant amount of time. In order to keep him the villain, he can't lose for a long period of time, because it's narratively, it's more jarring to the audience if you have him lose but get away, as opposed to just constantly winning. Right?
Well,
if you have a villain that's always winning, and he's always beating the heroes, and the heroes have to escape, then that's engaging to the audience because they're like, oh, maybe you can get him next time. But if you have a hero or if you have a villain that loses to the heroes and then gets away, you're like, okay, this guy's not really a threat. He's just an annoyance at this point.
Yeah, he's just taking L's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see why Piccolo has to beat the brakes off everybody. I just don't like that he's doing it. Except for Retsu. Retsu deserves to be on that pirate shit right now. Retsu deserves the peg leg. Like, not so much Katsumi. Katsumi did some crazy things, though. And he still didn't get the dub on Pickle.
Yeah.
He started swinging at the speed of sound.
Oh, yeah, that was Katsumi?
That was Katsumi, and he ripped himself in half. That was fucking insane. Pickle is a threat.
Yeah.
Baki's such a fucking turd. He's such a turd. I love him, but God, he's so annoying sometimes. Quit taking L's, dude. Just fight at 100% every time. Quit fucking with people.
Yeah.
You'll beat your dad in no time.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh yeah, Baki's gonna beat Yujiro. No, he's not. Not in my lifetime.
Not in his lifetime.
Yeah, not in his fucking lifetime. Like we were saying earlier, the power isn't there.
Yeah, Yujiro is kind of like you've said previously. Like Yujiro is just hard to scale because he's never really exerted himself against anyone in the series.
Yeah,
to his fullest potential because he's never needed to.
Never needed to.
It's the same issue with Saitama. Like it's the exact same issue there where it's like Saitama has never fully exerted himself because no one's challenged him. Yujiro is the same thing. He's so much better than everyone else that he can beat them without trying.
Yeah.
And that's like to most of the main cast who are already superhumans in their own right.
Yeah, if you're like a fucking scrub tier asshole and you just show up in Japan, the Baki cast will fuck you up.
Yeah.
Like if you're like just some B tier scrub going in there talking shit, that like you're not gonna find any wins.
Yeah, dude, most of the people in Baki, like most of the cast members, they are like better than the best fighters in the world by a significant margin.
UFC is in Baki and it's a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke to the Baki cast.
Yeah, like they like laugh about UFC. They're like, yeah, like they're kind of cool and they know martial arts and stuff, but meh. You know, like, you want to know where the real fighting's at, come to the underground death matches that fucking that old crazy dude throws.
Yeah.
Fight Jock Hanma in a fucking phone booth, and then tell me about fucking UFC, bro. How about that? That's how Baki characters feel. You know, like, they're on some ridiculous shit. But
the phone booth thing was so weird.
It was so weird, right?
It's so awkward.
I told you, worst day ever for a man, though.
Yeah.
Literally being upside down in a phone booth while fucking Jack Hanma's punching a man's face off.
Yeah. There's 3 people in the phone booth.
Yeah, and the skinny guy. There's a skinny guy, fucking Sikorsky and...
Yeah, Sikorsky and...
Jack.
Yeah. It was so awkward.
Such an awkward fight scene.
They just walk into the phone booth, like, Sikorsky and Jack Hanma, and they just, like, stare down at each other. And they just start throwing punches, and there's a third guy there on the phone.
Yeah, talking to his old lady. And she's like bitching him out, giving him the business, and he's in the phone booth upside down, being like, no, baby, you wouldn't believe it. These monsters are literally attacking each other in this phone booth. And she's like, yeah, whatever, you out there dogging, you piece of shit. You out there fucking around on me. You out there being a dog. You out there being disgusting. And he's like, no, I'm literally upside down while these superhumans are trying to kill each other. And he's having the worst day ever. This man, when he gets out of the phone booth, finally, he's so fucking traumatized. I mean, the smell was probably disgusting. I can't even imagine what the smell of these mans would have been like. Just nasty. And they get kidnapped in the phone booth.
Yeah.
And then taken to a location.
Yeah, taken to an underground tournament.
Yeah. So he's in that stinky, sweaty, nasty phone booth for a minute. Fucking gross, bro.
I think they let him out, though.
Yeah, but
before they take Sikorsky to the fight.
I hope so. Fucking poor guy. So, the tournament arc, though, is terrible. Bad writing.
Yeah. It's not good writing. It's every single fight's predictable. The fights that aren't predictable end in... Actually, no. The fights that aren't predictable are still pretty good. But, like...
Anything involving Yujiro when he's in the bracket, you know who the winner is.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. I mean, Yeah, like with Kengan, we fought for sure. Right out the gate, we're like, okay, Fang of Metsudo, Kano, takes the tournament. And we were wrong.
But
he actually ends up getting beat.
But that's within, like, fair reason. Agito Kano is a fucking well-rounded threat.
Yeah. But because, well, there's two problems. One, Yujiro is too strong, so when he's in a tournament, he's obviously going to win.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, like, they can't write themselves out of that. If you put Yujiro in a tournament, because of how he's been written up to this point,
you can't lose.
He just can't lose.
Yeah.
Like, him losing would make no sense, regardless of what gimmick you throw at him.
No, 100%. 100%. He fought that 140-year-old Chinese master and was just like, I don't care, bro. I'll make you dead.
Yeah. And the guy even said, like, oh, I have a super secret technique that makes it so that I don't take damage from being hit, and I can hit way harder than I'm physically capable of or whatever. And it's like, Yujiro's just like, yeah, I can do that too. Yeah, it's dumb, though.
I just learned it, but it's dumb. Yeah. Like, that's awesome. Yeah. It's like, yeah, I'm never going to use it again.
I'm never going to use it again because you guys, everyone else in the world, you could have this martial arts. I'm just not going to do it.
Yujiro's a fucking Chad. You just can't put him in a bracket.
Yeah. But aside from him, if they did do the tournament, it still would have been super predictable because you could see where the brackets were going.
Well, it's going to end up Baki and Ali Jr. anyway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the way that they had it set up, they actually had Baki going against Yujiro in the second round, I'm pretty sure.
No, Retsu. Would have been Retsu.
Was it Retsu?
Because Retsu's on their team. Retsu is the winner on their team.
No. I'm talking about the original tournament before they switched to
No, it would have been Muhammad Ali Jr.
Yeah, it would have been Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Baki and Muhammad, and then it would have been Yujiro.
Retsu.
Yeah.
That fucking idiot Retsu. You know what? Thank God he skipped that fight with Yujiro because Yujiro probably would have kicked his leg off.
You know what? Speaking about Retsu, we gotta talk about that one time he decided to save Doyle's life.
Let's talk about it, Mike.
Let's get to that because
stupid this shit
we
is.
have some things to say about it. So Retsu, first, the situation. Doyle is an escaped convict. Not a good guy. Retsu knows he's an escaped convict, proceeds to just mollywop him, just throwing daggers at him.
Hit him in the eye with a dagger.
Yeah, just like all kinds of terrible stuff.
Lit him on fire.
Right near the end of the fight where Retsu is about to take Doyle, someone shows up and just tranks Retsu.
Yep.
And just leaves him on the side of the road.
Jack.
Oh, it was Jack.
Yeah,
yeah, because Jack wanted to fight Doyle.
Jack, okay, the thing about Jack Hanma is Jack Hanma is the bad guy's bad guy in Baki. If you're out there doing shady shit, best expect Jack Hanma's gonna run into you and make you fist fight him for just being edgy.
Yeah.
That's just his thing.
Yeah, so Jack Hanma knocks out Retsu and then tells Doyle, I want to fight you later, but not right now. And then he proceeds to leave. Yep. So Doyle's left there on his own with Retsu unconscious. He goes to leave and then realizes that people are messing around with Retsu's unconscious body. And so he keeps coming back to fend off dogs and to fend off criminals and stuff. And then he's just like, you know what, forget it. I guess I'll just watch Retsu till he gets up. And so he just stays there all night waiting for Retsu to wake up from being unconscious.
By the time Retsu wakes up, Doyle's three-quarters dead.
Yeah, just almost dead.
Blood loss.
Because he's been stabbed by kunais and stuff and bleeding from the eye and all that. And Retsu's like, snap, this guy, he helped me out while I was unconscious, so I guess I should help him out too. So he puts Doyle on his back, because Doyle, basically can barely stand at this point. And he proceeds to run to the hospital, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with running to the hospital with a guy on your back.
No. Especially when you're a fucking giant Jack Kung Fu master like Retsu is.
It's what he does getting to the hospital that's unbelievably stupid.
Now, this is an A, B, and C thing. This is one of those like multiple choice things, and Retsu definitely picked the wrong fucking one.
Yeah, he picked the wrong one. Like, there's a right answer, a pretty much the right answer, and then the actual wrong answer, 100%.
100%.
So, he is on one side of a river, and he needs to get on the other side of the river. There is a bridge a little ways down the river.
Yep.
The river is not that wide. Like, maybe, 20 meters?
20 meters.
Like, max.
I think he says it's like 20 meters or something. He maps it out.
Yeah. And this is after he, jumped. Like, he did a big jump with Doyle on his back previously. So we know he can do jumps.
Yeah.
So, 20-meter river, and he...
The moped thing.
The moped?
Yeah, or the bike. The guy when he tried to hit him on the bike.
Oh, yeah, he stopped a bike with his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
so we know he's fully capable.
Yeah, so he's got the bridge that he can run to, because he's been running with Doyle this whole time.
Yep.
We know that he can jump, so he could just jump over the river, probably.
No, he could definitely jump the fucking river.
He can definitely jump. Well, we're going to say he can definitely jump the river. Option 3. He chose option 3. I haven't mentioned option 3 yet, because any rational person who sees this situation wouldn't think this was a possible option.
Even a fucking kung fu master.
We swear that he just did this to dunk on the fishermen that were at the side of the river.
Yes.
He's just like, watch me do this. He proceeds to run across to the river on his feet with Doyle on his back.
Like the biggest fucking asshole. He's just running so fast, arms in the air, thumping across water.
Yeah, running fast enough that he's
music.
not sinking.
Yeah, they kick the theme music on.
Yeah.
And he's going crazy, running across the fucking water, even in his
It
head.
takes 3 times the amount of energy. It takes 4 times the amount of time because he's not moving very fast going across this.
Yeah, he literally could have, ran 20 meters to the right.
There's a bridge there.
And then chucked the left. And there's a bridge, yeah.
Yeah.
Or he could have thrown Doyle across the water
and then jumped. Yeah.
Retsu was like, no. He's like, you see these fishermen trying to feed their families? Fuck these fishermen.
That's exactly what it is.
He's like, what do you mean, bro? This isn't about no. I know you guys were just trying to sneak out of your house because you guys have shitty lives and stuff, but fucking here I have to run across the water with this fucking
look at what I can do.
Yeah, this dead bloody dirtbag on my back. Leaking fucking gunpowder and blood everywhere because Doyle's a dirtbag. But yeah, it was stupid.
It was pretty stupid.
Fucking stupid. One of the most ridiculous things I've seen in Baki ever.
Yeah.
And I watched Pickle get hit by a truck.
Yeah, that happened too.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to make more seasons of Baki?
I think so.
On Netflix? Yeah.
I think so. I think they're going to keep going with it. I hope they abandon the 3D, though.
They seem to have. There hasn't been any 3D in the recent episodes.
Yeah.
I was talking to you about that, and I was like, I'm pretty sure it's just because of the studios.
Yeah, melding
studios. Because they've got... They have a 3D
studios.
studio, and so they might just occasionally go, hey, we need to get this shot done in X number of days, and the 2D studio doesn't have enough time to do it, so can you guys throw it together?
Yeah, that actually tracks. I mean, I just, again, we might do a whole episode No, we are actually probably going to do a whole fucking episode bagging on Netflix. Mike's got a solid idea for the 3-act structure we're going to run.
Yeah. I want to do some more research into that. We ended up having to push everything back because we didn't have time to look into anything.
The tier list was honest. Again, 12 hours of editing.
Yeah,
guys, when you watch the tier list, you're watching us try hard
and
for our very first
one thing
time.
I gotta mention, because some people don't know this. Usually, when you see the YouTube videos being made, a lot of people think, "Oh yeah, you just record yourself and that's it." And it's like, yeah, if it's a podcast, you just record yourself. But most YouTubers, some might not be the case, but most YouTubers will tell you that when it comes to making a YouTube video, the thing that takes the most time is the editing. Writing the script, doing the research, all that stuff. It does take time, but it doesn't take as much time as editing.
Yeah.
And we did an hour and 45-minute video. And we had to listen through the entire thing to do all the edits. So There's an hour and 45 minutes of just us listening to the video.
Yeah. Got it. So time consuming, but so fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, the whole experience, like just some of the edits. I think when you guys give it a watch, I think you'll get a kick out of it. We definitely had a lot of fun making it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Both ways, like the editing process and the recording process, both were just super fun.
Yeah.
Obviously, like some of you guys are gonna have disagreements. We even have disagreements with
ourselves after watching the last couple fights.
Yeah. So obviously, like, take it to the comment section. Let us know what you guys think. Again, it's gonna be out tomorrow. We were gonna do something a little bit different, but we're just gonna put it out tomorrow.
If you're watching this a day after this video comes out, then it should already be out.
Yeah, exactly. If you're watching this, today's Saturday and tomorrow's Sunday. If you're watching this tomorrow and today is Saturday, then you're watching it on Sunday, and then both videos are out.
I'm sure that made sense to someone.
Tito Ortiz would understand it. Tito Ortiz would definitely understand it. But yeah, guys. Honestly, we put a ton of work into it. We did, and I don't know, man. I think I'm definitely gonna make some friends, especially within the martial arts community. What do you think?
Yeah, bro? Maybe.
You think Bruce Lee guys are gonna be my homies now? Like, I just want to have friends in the Bruce Lee Jeet Kune Do community. That's all I want.
Just, you want friends for any particular reason there?
Yeah. No, I don't, actually. Fuck those guys. Fuck all of them.
You turned on that pretty quick.
I was trying to, like, keep it up, and I was like, no, I actually can't say that shit. It's like me lying about music. I actually can't hold it up. I can't say I like Bruce Lee, because he's a fucking little scumbag. But we'll get into that tomorrow. You guys watch the video tomorrow and you'll see. We have some fun at Bruce's expense.
Yeah, we do, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, there's a couple edits in there of him.
Yeah, we might even do a Bruce Lee birthday special.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Come on. I might do a Bruce Lee birthday special. It's going to be a Savage Hanma edit. It's going to be really fun. You guys are going to love it.
Okay.
But currently we got some edits. We got some edits coming soon. We started a third channel, but the third channel's purpose is going to be really cool.
Yeah, basically what we want to do is we want to take like kind of full clips when we have a topic in one of the podcasts. We'll just take that clip, we'll do editing to that clip, and then we'll post that on our other YouTube channel as more like a polished video as opposed to just kind of a live podcast.
Yeah.
And this isn't going to just be like direct clips. I don't want to just go, hey, here's a 15-minute segment where we talk about something. I want to clean it up, take out all the dead space, dead air, the oohs and ums, and the repeated stuff because we can't think of what we're talking about.
Exactly.
All that kind of stuff. Clean it up, make it feel like it's actually its own video.
Yeah.
Do some nice editing on it.
Throwing some funny gifs. We're actually, you know what? We're finding our own editing style.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. When you start doing editing, you typically will, like, this is anything artistic. Editing can be considered an artistic expression, right? And anything that you do artistically is going to kind of have your own style to it if you aren't directly copying someone else. Yep. Like, if you aren't using someone else as a reference, if you're just doing your own thing, jumping in, you're going to have your own artistic expression in that content, no matter what type of art you're doing. And editing is no different. Like, you hear a lot of people say, like, that they have a specific editing style. And if you watch one YouTuber's videos, then you switch to another YouTuber's videos, you can tell very quickly that they have very different editing formats.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're just, again, like, we're new to this whole process, so we're just trying to come into our own. Yeah. But if you guys like anything that we're doing, if you don't like things that we're doing, that's what the comment section's for. We're not ever going to turn it off because we want...
Oh, yeah. We want criticism.
Feedback. Yeah.
Good, bad, the ugly.
Thank you. Yeah, especially the ugly. Send me the ugly. Let's go. Send me all that fucking ugliness from the Bruce Lee darkness. Ugh, fucking clowns. I'll even fight them, fuck. Send it to me. Send me all that reactionary salt. Fucking put it in a jar for me, for fuck's sakes. I'm down. Send me the ugly. Alright? And we fucking missed you guys. I know this this episode's not going to be that exciting because again, it's just going to be a lot of like, we're sorry that we were behind, you know.
Yeah.
And we're breaking down like how the week went for us. But again, we're gonna have something out tomorrow for you.
Yeah.
This is.
I think one thing we can talk about today is the Star Trek stuff.
You want to do Star Trek
Because we had planned this for last week, but then we removed it from the video because we thought that the tier list was going to take too long, and it did, so it's a good thing we did that. But this has been planned for 2 weeks. And like, we really wanted to kind of address how Star Trek handles women, just in general.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely some good, some bad, and some ugly in that.
Like, see, this is, yeah. So, a couple things that I've noticed while watching Star Trek.
This is Star Trek original.
The original series, obviously, yeah. Like, couple things that I've noticed is, like, inclusivity is one of those things that's really prevalent.
Yeah.
Right?
They never really didn't have it.
No, exactly. From the get-go. And I'm not talking about, like, just between men and women. I'm talking about, like, or races of, like, Earth races. I'm talking about, like, species as well.
Yeah.
Like when you're dabbling with something like Star Trek, where you're dealing with, aliens, essentially alien races, inclusivity is one of those things that's just going to show up.
Yeah. Exactly. It's just kind of a natural progression. And typically, the only time you would deliberately exclude inclusivity is when you are deliberately highlighting that aspect of the society.
Well, the Romulan conflict.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like that whole idea. And it's not based on a direct prejudice. It's based on, the beef is based on ideals.
Yeah, ideals and like politics.
Yeah, politics.
Right?
Yeah, and not interpersonal politics.
Yeah, not those politics. The other kind of politics.
Like real world politics.
Real world politics.
Fucking repercussions. Like planets.
Yeah.
Like the fates of planets are
let's
based
be
on
honest.
These conflicts.
Star Trek has always run as a series with
It was just grounded.
Well, yeah. Well, what I was going to say is that they run it as if every planet is its own country. And the people of that planet are like the people from that country.
Yeah.
Right? And then they just run the politics the exact same way that normal real world politics happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, even that Cisco crazy guy.
Yeah.
He will nuke your country.
Yeah. Oh, that was...
We thought, there was a guy named Cisco, and we thought what he did was a joke.
Yeah.
We thought he was going to, reverse it.
No, he was serious.
Yeah, and still did it.
He still did it.
And had 3 more nukes that he was going to send.
Yeah, he literally nuked a planet, and then he was like, you know what? I'll just keep doing it. And then the people surrendered. And it's like, that is not what you're supposed to do or how you're supposed to handle situations.
Yeah, that happened in Star Trek. So those are the politics that we're talking about. We're talking about, real world politics. Things that affect the rest of the galaxy around us.
Yeah.
Or around them, I should say.
And of all the since we're kind of on the politics thing, we should probably talk about the episode with Mud's women and kind of what that episode was even about. Because some people, they'll see the beginning of the episode and they'll be like, oh, this episode's all about just objectifying women and stuff. And then when you actually watch the episode, it's like, no, the whole point to the episode is the fact that women shouldn't just be treated like objects, and that's a bad thing.
Before we get to the Mud's women part, we can even go further than that. We have the Charlie X.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the Charlie X thing. Yeah, let's talk about that one first.
The Charlie X thing happened early on with Charlie X, where he
was walking through the Enterprise.
Yeah, and he slapped an officer, a female officer, on the ass as she was walking by because he seen 2 male officers, I think, do it to each other, just in a friendly manner. And Charlie's an alien, obviously, so he gets a pass in the sense that he's just not used.
He doesn't understand social constructs and whatnot.
Exactly. So
at least human.
This concept's just honestly foreign to him, right?
Yeah.
So when it happens, the officer sends him right to Kirk, and she's like, you know, not taken aback by it too wholeheartedly. Yeah, like I should say,
she understands the situation. She understands that this guy doesn't understand human customs
exactly,
and what isn't acceptable.
So she sends him to Kirk.
For Kirk to kind of explain to this guy why he shouldn't be doing that.
And it goes as well as you would think. Getting mentored by Kirk. Kirk basically tells Charlie, well, you see here, Charlie, there's no right way to hit a woman.
There's no right way to hit a woman.
That's what Kirk said. And I mean,
he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. Like, so, and again, like, you have to take this into consideration too. Kirk has his own way of kind of dealing with things.
And explaining things.
But he's also explaining it to someone that does not understand human constructs.
Yeah.
This is like, you can't take that statement into context and just say, oh, that's how Kirk feels. That he's explaining it in the most simplest of terms to a person that's never had to deal with these issues before.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, he's trying to explain it in a way that this issue may never come up again.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Instead of just give out a kind of all-encompassing explanation to prevent the issue from happening in the future, instead of having a bunch of exceptions that the person might try to use to get around. You know, if he was to try and explain it and be too wordy about it, this is something I do a lot. I'm doing it right now. Is if you try and explain something in a way that's too complex, people will usually just go, I have no idea if I'm supposed to do this or not, and then just ignore your advice, right? If it's too complicated, if there's too much regulations, they'll just ignore the advice. If there's too much, like, kind of exceptions and rules, which is why just kind of giving people a baseline is a good starting point.
Yeah.
You know? That's why a lot of, like, I'm trying to think of, like, general rules that were taught as kids, but kind of have a lot of, I want to use taxes, but taxes is a bad one. But yeah, taxes. Like, everyone knows that they have to pay taxes. And just telling people, yes, you need to pay your taxes. That's advice that everyone should be aware of. But obviously there's a lot of exceptions to how and when and why you pay taxes.
Yeah.
Right? But you don't want to explain to every single person that's not paying their taxes all the intricacies of it, because then they'll just go, oh, I don't want to do this.
If you give them too much leeway, they just won't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not if you give them too much leeway. If you give them too much restrictions.
Oh, or so, like, incentive not to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's the same thing with, like, well, I mean, it's relatively the same thing.
Yeah.
With, like, the example with Kirk is, like...
Kirk was just trying to avoid
He's trying to avoid a problem in the future. And he saw the best way to do it is to just tell the guy, hey, you know, just... Maybe you shouldn't do that in any circumstances.
Yeah.
Right?
Which was very, very clever.
Yeah, it is a clever solution. And it's... Honestly, I think it's a good answer.
It was the best way that he could handle it at the time.
Yeah.
Again, like, we're talking about... Like, the thing is, like, I wasn't like, I thought the Enterprise crew was way smaller.
Oh, yeah.
Than it actually is, and that's just not the fucking case. Kirk has a lot of people.
Yeah.
That he's, like, tending over.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
not just the people on the bridge. There's so many moving parts. And I, like, again, like, that was my naivety, right? Like, I didn't really understand
because because, like, coming into the series, you usually only see the main cast.
Yeah.
And especially when you're watching the original, it's hard to tell that they're on a starship most of the time.
Until they're moving through the fucking hallways, and then everybody's just moving around.
Yeah, and there's just a bunch of extras all of a sudden.
Yeah. I'm like, this is actually, like, a dynamic, like, system.
And unless you really, again, either if you've watched the show and you kind of gain that understanding from watching the show, or if you understand where the concept for the show came from, which is from ship voyages, you would just have a general understanding that ships have a lot of people on them besides the main kind of leading crew.
Yeah. I just didn't have any, like, prior knowledge.
Yeah, exactly.
And it always seemed to me like that the system could be run from the from the bridge.
Yeah.
But it's just not like that at all.
Yeah.
It's not
And going back to what we were talking
Mud's
about.
women.
No. Before that, you were saying that, Kirk has a lot of moving parts on the ship. And he doesn't want this situation to keep coming up over and over again.
Exactly, because it's not just like he can't just be like, you can't touch this woman like this, because then it goes to a situation where like he does it to another woman. Now, I mean, Charlie X develops an infatuation for this
particular officer, yeah. But anyways, the other thing is you can't just go, don't hit girls on the butt.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, then he'll just hit them somewhere else. And
yeah, exactly.
That doesn't fix the problem either. It's just, don't do it. Just stop it. Don't do it.
Well, bless me. Yeah, like just don't basically what Kirk was doing. Yeah, Kirk was avoiding a
and it's like that's I think that's a pretty commendable thing to do. But then let's get to the Mud's Women episode now.
Well, just one last
one more thing.
One last thing. Yeah, like the more I get into the series, the more I learn about Kirk, and the more I see him interact with his crew, the more situations I see him in. I give him a lot more credit.
Yeah.
I definitely give him a lot more credit. Just that was just my closing.
Yeah.
And Mud's Women. Yeah.
Yeah, so Mud's Women...
What a trip.
It starts off as this episode where literally
they have the most deplorable, disgusting human on their fucking ship.
Whose name is Mud.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is...
Mr. Mud.
Exactly that.
He's disgusting.
He's basically a pimp, honestly.
He is a space pimp.
Space pimp.
Yeah.
And he's got these 3 girls with him who are all specifically designed. I don't want to say specifically designed, but their makeup is done up to make them look very attractive, right?
No, they take it's the scene.
Well, I'm talking about from a meta standpoint.
Oh, from a meta standpoint.
But like...
Yeah. They look like hookers. They look like hoes. Mud's a pimp, and he's got these 3 hoes.
Yeah.
And
they all are supposed to look very attractive, and they're also supposed to be kind of like not all of, but a lot of the men on the ship are actually like completely infatuated with these girls.
Not my boy Spock. Spock ain't having that shit.
Yeah, but McCoy
was in love. McCoy lel in fuv. He lel in fuv.
Yeah, but and you kind of get the feeling that they're going for this, like, oh, these girls are, they're showing they're done up to look all pretty and all this stuff, and the guys obviously like them because they're pretty.
Yep.
And there's nothing else to them except for the fact that they're pretty and all that stuff. And then you find out later in the episode, that they aren't actually pretty, and that they're taking a drug to make themselves look pretty.
And Mud's making them take it.
Yeah. And it's not that he's not necessarily making them take it.
He's not.
2 of them wanted to, and one of them was being forced to take it.
He's incentivizing.
He's incentivizing her because they're supposed to get married to these rich guys or something.
And they get old if they don't.
Yeah. No, they are old.
They are old.
They are older,
right.
But the pill that they're taking makes them look young. And so the episode towards the end goes kind of on this tangent about how the objectification of women isn't a good thing, and that these girls taking this medication to trick people into thinking that they're attractive just so that they can get what they want isn't a good thing, and that that they shouldn't be liked for their appearance. The one girl actually basically goes towards the end of the episode, she's like, I don't want to just be treated like an object.
Is that after the red shirt gets dumped into the thing?
No. That's the next episode.
No, was that not with Kirk? Oh wait. No,
yeah, that's the next episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mud's Women. That I don't remember what happened once they got down, but I remember her basically turning on Mud. I think she took the medication from him or something.
Oh, the blonde.
Yeah, the blonde girl.
Yeah.
She stopped taking it and stuff because she just didn't want to. She didn't want to lie to people about what she really looked like. She didn't want to just be treated like an object and all that stuff. And it's like, this is a lesson that's very relevant to how people feel nowadays, and it was written in the 60s. And people act like these stories didn't exist. up until recently.
It's crazy too because you get 3 girls in 3 different perspectives.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, the two, like Mike said, 2 of them kind of think similar, but they don't at the same time. When, like, you see their spurts of individuality, you get to recognize them as characters, and then that's when you kind of see the faults in this Mud guy. He's fucking gross.
Yeah.
He is fucking gross. Like, he's just slimy, fat, he's bald, he's fucking... He
uses the girls to get information from the Enterprise because they're attractive and men are infatuated with them.
As soon as he got on the ship, this dirtbag took all 3 of them hoes all the way up to Kirk's cabin. Because he was like, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna trick fucking Captain Kirk into the ultimate honeypot. And then they get the girls up there, and Kirk is like, yeah, so what, dude? I don't give a shit. You got a weird mustache. Go sit downstairs.
You're also a criminal wanted for stuff. I forget what it was.
But it was trafficking. It was stupid. It was, Remember, he was like lying about his charges?
Yeah.
Like,
and then he's like, oh, but, we still have to deliver these girls to where they need to go. So why don't we take them there first? And then you can take me in.
Yeah, Kirk's like, no fucking way.
No, we're taking you in first. I think Kirk ends up deciding to take the women first.
Yeah. Get them away from Mr. Mudd.
Yeah, and then the second half of the episode ensues, and I can't remember what happens in the second half.
We should run it back. We should watch it again sometime. It was
then there was the following episode, and the following episode made us lose all of our faith in the show again.
Yeah,
it's like you have an episode that's very heavy on kind of the negative sides of objectification of women specifically, and talking about those types of themes. And then immediately...
Because those dynamics were super prevalent the whole episode. They were very... Like, it wasn't like they were beating around the bush with it. They were like, no, listen, like, this is bad.
And that was the entire message of the episode.
Yeah.
Like, that was what it was about.
1 hour, the fundamental lining was like, do not treat women like shit.
Yeah.
And if you do, we will send you out to space. Yes.
And then, the next episode, they have a female character in the episode and literally almost wearing nothing.
Yeah.
Like, her outfit was just like 2 straps over her shoulders.
Yeah, and it was color-coded to the rest of the guys, but, like, they actually had clothes on.
They had clothes underneath.
Yeah.
And she just didn't.
She just didn't.
And it's like, what?
What was the point?
Well, yeah, was the Mud's Women episode specifically so that you could get away with this?
Yes.
Or did they just understand their target demographic?
Or did the ratings tank? Did the ratings tank for Mud's Women? That's what we should actually look into.
Yeah, see if Mud's Women tank the ratings?
Yeah.
Because that's interesting. Although it's hard to get ratings from back in the 60s.
The fucking show got canceled like 3 times. I'm sure we could find it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know, but whatever they did, that other episode was gnarly.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was kind of a weird episode. It was a lot of, like, gratuitous side shots and stuff, and, like, not a huge fan.
But this was all still very early in the series run time.
Yep.
And it got a lot better later on.
So much better. Sulu...
I'm glad
and the samurai. Oh my god. Sulu and the samurai.
Sulu fighting a samurai.
And he tried to pull the phaser on it and it didn't work.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh fuck. Oh no. And he just runs for his life.
Just runs for his life from the samurai.
And he tells Kirk, and he's expecting Kirk to be scared. He's like, Kirk, you gotta run, there's a samurai up there. And Kirk's like, I believe you. I've seen some crazy things today, too.
Totally okay with it.
Yeah, for sure. It's like, if that guy comes down here, I'll handle it. Is Riker supposed to be like a personification of Kirk?
No, but he does feel like one. Now that you mention it, yeah, I can see it.
Because that scene you showed me when Riker's just throwing down with the fucking aliens,
yeah.
I was like, why does he look like Kirk? Why does he look like a beardy Kirk? He even fights like Kirk. He's just big, burly, lumbery, throwing hooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I wonder if that's like a thing. Is Riker supposed to be like somewhat of an embodiment of Kirk?
I don't know. I don't know if that was the intention or not.
Who is the opposite to Riker?
The opposite.
Is it Data?
Yeah, Data. And Data would be like the kind of equivalent of Spock.
The mirror to Spock.
Yeah.
So that would make Riker McCoy, though.
Yeah. No. Because...
They have a medical... No, I don't mean in title. I don't mean...
No, I'm not trying to think of in title. I'm trying to think of, like, the roles.
Yeah.
In the actual narrative.
But not the... Yeah, like the meta role.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like... Where would you think? Like, what do you think? Do you think...
I always imagined that it would be, what is his name? My goodness.
Worf.
Worf would be the equivalent to, McCoy. And then Data would be the equivalent to Spock. And I guess what they did, because there wasn't a first officer.
Riker's not Scotty.
No, what I was going to say is that Picard and Riker are the two halves of Kirk, where you got Riker's more of the suave combat side, and then Picard is the kind of intellectual, kind of like chess playing.
I actually really like that. I really do. I really
yeah,
like
because
that.
there wasn't a first officer in the original series.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wait, yeah. Spock was the medical officer. McCoy. No, Spock was the security officer. McCoy was medical.
Yeah.
Scotty was engine specialist.
Yeah, and then you've got Sulu was
navigations.
Uhura was communications.
And
then there's the girl with blonde hair.
Yeah.
Who is
the girl with blonde hair?
Yeah. And then there is the second communications or the second navigations officer, who is also in the group, I guess.
Yeah, he's a guy. He is a guy.
We apologize for not knowing those two crew members' names.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know the blonde guy's name.
Girl.
No, the blonde guy.
The blonde guy?
He's a blonde guy.
I thought he was more like a brown.
No, I thought he was like a blonde dude.
Whatever, we'll figure it out later.
Whatever. Who are the rest of the bridge crew that we don't know? Yeah. And why should we know them?
Should we know them?
I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, whatever. Star Trek's really good though, and again, like just the whole idea of the again we wanted to do. We might do a special later on. We might do an episode like a half an hour, maybe 45-minute special on objectification in Star Trek and how it progressed, like how inclusivity and objectification actually worked in Star Trek. Because like this was just us touching on it. And
it's one of those things where the one thing that always annoys me is people acting like this is a new concept. Like trying to stop objectification in media and stuff is a new concept. Something that people didn't just didn't exist in older media. And that's just not the case. Like, again, you can watch this episode of Star Trek from the 60s and they're talking about the same stuff that we're talking about now.
I can promise you, if you go back, any of you, if you watch episode 3 Charlie X of the original Star Trek series, or episode 7 Mud's Women, like I promise you you'll understand exactly what we're talking about, and you will find relatable issues.
Yeah, it's on Netflix if anyone wants to know.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
So you can just, if you have a Netflix subscription, you can just watch it.
Yeah, and those episodes specifically are just something that we're citing right now, but there's more examples. Way more. You know, we might actually do that. We might just plan it and do a special on objectification in Star Trek.
Yeah.
Do a whole Star Trek episode. But those two episodes specifically, and again, the one following in episode 8, obviously, What Little Girls Are Made Of.
That's what it's called?
Yeah, Wogmo.
Oh.
Yeah,
really?
Remember Wogmo?
Oh my goodness, that doesn't.
Remember Wogmo?
Yeah. It felt so jarring considering it was coming off of Mud's Women.
Yeah.
Like right after Mud's Women, it's like, oh, and now we have a pretty girl wearing significantly less clothes than the rest of the cast because she's a woman.
Because women.
And it's, I mean, I'm not saying that objectification didn't exist. What I'm saying is that we were having these discussions even back then.
100%.
And I'm not saying that we haven't made progress. It's more so that people are louder about it now.
Yeah.
But it's always been a debate. We've always been talking about it back and forth. There's always been two sides of the argument.
Yep.
And the two sides being, do you think objectification is okay, or do you think objectification isn't okay? And there's people on both sides of that argument, even today.
And you know what? Maybe those two episodes of Star Trek are just a parallel of that argument.
That could be it too, honestly.
Like, they're back to back. They're literally back to back.
Yeah.
So you could make the argument that it is a parallel. In that 2-hour time span, you get both sides of the argument.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
From like a very visceral standpoint.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like the themes aren't jarring. We're not like don't get us like twisted. Like the themes aren't jarring. It's just they're real.
Yeah.
They're relatable.
They're relatable and they're present. We're almost at the hour now, so we should probably start closing up.
How did that happen?
I know. It's like I remember looking at it and it was like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, 20 minutes. We still got lots of time to talk. And then we talk about stuff for a bit, and now it's 56 minutes, and we're almost we're almost at the hour.
You know what? We got 100 views on our first 2 videos, and we fucking love you guys. You know that? We fucking love you guys. And someone threw a dislike on one of our videos, and we love you too, motherfucker. We love you too.
Yeah, you know what? Throw us more dislikes.
You fucking send me. You know what? You tell me. You message me on Instagram at Savage Pie, and you tell me you sent me a dislike, and we get merch. I'll send you fucking merch, bro.
We will send you something.
We'll send you something. I guarantee it. Yo, we actually had this discussion with friends of ours. The guy's like, what are you going to do when you get haters? I'm like, fucking bring them. I love them.
Yeah.
I love them. I mean,
bring the haters. You know what haters do? I mean, there's two different types of haters. There's people who hate you because they don't like your ideals, and there's people who hate you because they just don't like you.
Yeah.
Those ones aren't great because they just won't have a discussion. But the haters that don't like your ideals, come talk to us, because those are the guys who are fun to talk to.
Yeah, straight up. And like, okay, so this is the cool thing about either of us.
Let's have a discussion.
Exactly. And even if it's just with one of us, if you want to discuss like, you know, if you want to discuss like logic and shit with Pie Truck, go ahead, hit him up.
Yeah.
Let him know. We'll do a whole hour.
We have an open Discord.
Yeah.
You can just join.
Exactly.
There's no one on it yet, and we don't monitor it enough because reasons. But
yeah, I know I should get on that, but like we've been editing 12 hours of editing for you motherfuckers.
Yeah, and mind you, like I work an 8-hour job. It might as well be 10 hours because it's half an hour bus ride in, 8.5 hours work because half an hour lunch, and then hour walk home every day. So 10 hours for 5 days a week.
Fucking.
And then add 12 hours of editing on top of that for the last week. So we've just been
dealing with all of it.
Yeah.
All of it, putting it to work.
But we're going to have a great episode up for you guys tomorrow.
And I mean great as in fucking great.
Yeah.
We had so much fun with the edit.
Yeah.
I mean the GIFs, the memes.
Yeah.
The time, honestly, I think like by the time we put in 5 hours just today.
Yeah, just today. Around noon. We just put in 5 hours from like I think 10:30 till 10:30 to like 3.
Yeah. So we put in 4.5, 5 hours today just to get this out for you guys. Again, we fucking missed you guys. It took us a week to get it out. We're gonna put something out.
From now on, we're just gonna post raw videos on our podcast channel.
Yep.
And then we're gonna make clip edits on our YouTube channel. That way, videos should come out more consistently, and we're always gonna get the stream out right away on time, so you don't have to worry about waiting an entire week for us to get our streams out.
Exactly. We're just gonna record it, film it, put it out.
And we still have the question of Twitch or no Twitch. We're thinking right now that we're planning on switching to just streaming on YouTube. So we'll just do YouTube streams, because we don't really have an audience on either platform. But I feel like our podcasts are just better content for YouTube than for Twitch. We'll keep the Twitch channel open. We might put some Let's Play content on there at some point in the future.
Yeah, I think that should be a thing. We got some funny ideas for Let's Plays.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think of the avatars too. We just got them in, like they're the business.
Oh yeah.
I'm really happy with mine. Mike's happy with his. Let us know what you guys think. We're fucking super jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, like again, thanks for all the love, guys. Everything's been fucking crazy. Like again, 100 views. 100
views in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, and I thought it was going to be 50 in a month.
Yeah, so that's 4 times the amount of views we expected.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Sorry we're a little bit behind. But again, like, we've had this YouTube channel up now for a month.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, a month today.
Yep.
Is it? No. We started January 1st. It's the 22nd.
Ooh, we're almost at a month.
Yeah.
We're almost
because we did the first one, we recorded it a month ago, but we didn't post it till the 1st.
Oh.
So it was late.
Yes. Okay. So we're gonna do something fun on our first month special.
You think?
I think we should.
Okay. Well, we'll think about that over the week.
The big piece of pie, baby.
The big piece of pie.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna call it. We're gonna call it something cool. We're gonna have fucking fun with you guys. Again, like, I couldn't be happier with this. Thanks for all the love you guys been showing us. We fucking missed you. It's been a long fucking week. I hope you guys love what we got for you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Anything to close with, Pie Truck? What you got? Tell him you love him, bro. You never tell him you love him. Tell him you love him.
Yeah.
He fucking loves you, okay? And thanks for coming to have a piece of pie.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. We've got an Instagram too.
We got an
The
Instagram.
Savage Pie.
The Savage
everywhere.
Pie. Fucking hit us up. I don't have a Facebook for it yet, but if you guys want a Facebook page, let me know.
The question is, do we want to have a Facebook page? That's exactly the response I expected.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope to see you next time.
Watch us tomorrow. Have a good night, guys. We love you. Bye.